If you clicked on this video, it means you still have the ability to think and to make decisions to improve your life. In today's world, that is no ordinary strength. So before we even start, I want to commend you on that. You may feel like your life has no significance or order, that your days pass in a blur, all intertwined. There are days you feel motivated, energetic, and passionate, but those seldom last. Eventually, you find yourself drifting across the same stretch of land you always seem to end up on. If that's the case for you, let me tell you right now, I understand, my brother. In every man's life, there comes a time when they have to step back, reflect, and build themselves up again. Your journey is not supposed to be a straight line. Never was. Never will. You might look at other men around you and feel different. You'll complain that they have it easier. But don't do that. When it's their time to go through it, they'll go through it. Right now, you have to look inwards. You have to cut out the overpowering noise coming from outside. Can you do that? If you're doubting yourself, let me assure you, you can. You came here because you felt something wrong and want to change it. That realization is all it takes to get started on the journey to come. What I hope this video will do for you is provide guidance on the steps you are to take from here. Just know, men from completely different walks of life will watch this video. All of you have a different direction you're walking in. The advice I give will be a catalyst to your progression. It'll give you a blueprint that you build upon. I repeat, that you build upon. There is no one-fit-for-all solution in life. I know that you have it within you to curate a plan for yourself. If you didn't, you wouldn't have clicked on this video about growth. You'd be sitting in your dark room, crying, feeling sorry for yourself. Keep in mind, you didn't. So with that said, let's talk about the 5 habits you should build up from today that will accelerate your life. Number 1, exercise regularly. I know the lazy lot amongst you are already whining about how you're too busy to exercise, but hear me out. You as a man are naturally meant to be physically active. Your body yearns to struggle and tear muscle fibers and grow. When you don't, your muscles shrink. And this in turn decreases your testosterone levels. That is when you feel incomplete, like you are half the man you once were. I'm not saying you have to exercise every single day. If you're starting off from a place of complete halt, then exercising every 3rd day is also sufficient. You can't have a good life if you feel terrible. And for a lot of men, this is the primary cause of feeling weak and why I put it as the first habit you must work on. If you don't have time, make time. Number 2, get off social media. Like I said before, you have to cut out the noise coming from the outside. 1/2 of the people on the internet are consumers who mindlessly scroll apps whenever they get some time in their day. The other half are so-called producers who are making their so-called content, chasing the dopamine rush they get from interactions. The former spends their entire day finding out how others are spending their days. How pathetic is that? Yet, it's the norm. The latter's constantly updating the world on what's going on with them. They upload their cute little Instagram story, send out thousands of snaps on Snapchat, update their every thought on Twitter. You have to ask yourself, all that for what? For temporary validation through a bunch of likes. Once you realize the joke social media actually is, you'll find it hard to go back. I say this from experience. It's been a couple months since I myself deleted social media from my phone. Initially, I was hesitant too. I'll be honest. I was worried I'd lose touch with friends, that I'll miss out on so much. The reality is, you're missing out on absolutely nothing. 99% of the things on the internet have no implications on your life. If you notice yourself being unhappy with where you are in life or being jealous of others, it's a strong sign that you're on social media too much. Step away from it. Pick up a notepad and write a couple goals down. And no, you don't need to show your progress to everyone online. Number 3, prioritize learning. All right, you're off social media and now you suddenly have a lot of time that you never thought you had. How do you utilize it? Initially, your mind is going to crave all the drugs you were feeding it in the past. It'll beg you to pull out Instagram, put up a series on Netflix, or even simply listen to music when you have nothing else to do. Why? Because silence is uncomfortable. It's challenging. The primal instinct of our mind is to prioritize comfort over discomfort, as it conserves energy in moments of scarce food. But obtaining energy isn't an issue for us in the modern world. If we are to dominate in this competitive setting we're placed in, we have to go against our primal instinct. That means the time you have vacated by getting off social media, it's time to invest that into learning. Learn further and hone the skill you have chosen to master. Use as much time as you can to better yourself in various aspects. Think about the potential you possess, and then think about the great personalities from history. Would they have turned into what they were if they spent their youth being on Instagram 8 hours a day? Or if they were distracted by the abundance of dirty content you can access now with a touch of your finger? The answer is most probably no. In today's generation, these are the cards we are dealt with. Instead of whining about it, we have to deal with it. Choose productivity over anything else. That's the secret. Number 4, consume the right food. There's a popular saying that goes, "You are what you eat." And that is right on so many levels. If your diet isn't balanced and you aren't consuming adequate amounts of vitamins and minerals your body requires, you're putting yourself at a serious disadvantage. You may feel like you have no energy to do anything during the day, that your body is hurting, despite you being young, or just overall feelings of hopelessness. There is a strong chance that there is no underlying mental condition, but simply a deficiency of some important vitamin in your body. Visit a doctor and figure out exactly what you're missing and replenish it. You'll realize that you weren't the problem all along. If you're tired all the time, you might just have an iron deficiency. If you're struggling with studies or retaining knowledge, you may just need vitamin B12 supplements to help you out. If your body hurts and you can't exercise, probably vitamin D. You see, for a lot of issues you might think are some deep-rooted problems, it can be a simple deficiency of a crucial nutrient. Don't underestimate it. You can only perform at 100 when your body is at 100. Lastly, number 5, have a purpose in life. A lot of men feel desolate and unhappy because they're drifting through life doing everything society expects. Study, work, retire, die. That system keeps the world running. That's its whole purpose, but it will never make you content. The only way to do that is by having a purpose to your life. A man with a purpose goes a lot further than a man without one because he sacrifices for it. He sees something worth accomplishing, not for his ego, but for the greater good of humanity. He understands he will be forgotten eventually, but despite that, he knows the importance of the change he's trying to make, so he puts in the work selflessly. A man's purpose can be serving the world, serving his country, serving his community, or even just serving his children. As long as there's something he's striving for, it doesn't matter what roadblock life puts in front of him, he'll overcome it. So that'll be the 5 steps you need to take if you're feeling lost in life. Remember, we all have a different journey unraveling in front of our eyes. Never compare yourself with anybody but your past self, and strive every single day to be better. With that said, I'll see you in the next one.